So it's time.
Close the door.
Good afternoon. Let me introduce myself and my project. My name is Jiří Kašpar, and I worked at university since my degree, some years, and then I was in Digital Compact and Hewlett Packard. Then I was fired. Then I was freelancer and returned back to university. So now I don't work. I only teach. So I'm teaching programming, operating systems, and data center and virtualization. So I'm trying to how to switch it here. No, this one.
Something wrong, as usual, you know.
Okay, so I'm working 15 years with students who are trained on Linux and Bash, and sometimes I try to show them VMS features and let them to boot VMS and to try something, and it usually is ended with LS. Which started language sensitive editor. There is a question what can we do for people who never seen VMS to be better acceptable for them. I think one colleague of our colleagues said that we need more Unix supported applications, but I think we also need a new shell because we can run Unix utilities in DCL, but they expect from shell to be file specification to be expanded. And also no regular expressions are in DCL, but Bash doesn't support VMS features. So there is I think it is impossible to extend the DCL because it is written in mostly in assembly language, and it needs to be compatible as it is, and it is not possible to do anything in Bash which would be related to DCL. So I'd like to propose a solution to use a configurable language where users should be allowed to select style, and if it is DCL or Bash or something in between, and there should be a lot of selectable options which can be selected using the main style, and it should be a user decision. So, and beside that, we have a lot of commands, a lot of programs which require some settings. I remember I tried to use set process how it is said. I'm a little bit too a little bit sclerotic. So set process part styles equals extended with all program, and it expect parameters to be uppercase. It didn't. Such old program doesn't work. So that there should be some image preferences how the command line should look. So the proper place where to specify is command line description. So in our solution, new shell will transform commands from from the form how user would like to write it to the form required by images. So we will use shell as a command transformer, command translator, and so we need to run it in standalone process in the process, and commands will be run in user mode. It will be activated in other process using some stub which will run in supervisor mode. So that's the idea. And so we need a command definition utility. So it was first step done. I rewrite the CDU from Bliss to C, and did some extensions. So there are some limits. For example, you can write logout, log off, and if you write log on, it means also log out, because only four letters are compared. So we need some other options, some features which could describe Unix commands. So there is in new CDO it's possible to select which kind of image will be run. So if it is ECL image, or if it is Unix image, and also that there are some. If you read the syntax of Unix commands, you can see that there are some options, several possible syntaxes of commands, and we need to try first syntax, and if if command doesn't fit, we need to try it others. So that's why alternate syntax is possible. A Unix option with dash single letter is also necessary to specify. Also, some programs negate qualifiers, not using dash, but plus sign means negative, and so on. So we need to be able to describe all these features in command definition language. So also it is possible in some commands to specify time using the time specification, or using file name. So time is read as attributes of a file, and we Tatar will use all files which time is greater than time of the file. So also there are a lot of other options, and if you use pipe command in DCL and you would like to use search command in a pipeline, then you need to specify $sys input or $sys pipe. So I think it is not good to make users to write this. And that's why we can specify which parameter or which qualifier is used as a default place where to specify input when pipe is used. I'd like to also to be helpful to user. to be able to get some short help if he edits commands. So new shell will handle pf2 key as an editor, and says this should help, and more and more features. So this new CDU works on Linux and on VMS and translate command line description to internal form, so which can be then loaded to memory. Not to have to describe all Unix commands by hand. We have utility man2 CLD, which helps with it. So it reads man page of the Unix command and tries to generate CLD. So it needs some help from the user, but it is possible to get good results with it with a little help. We need to specify the data types and so on, but it works. Okay. Then we write first prototype, which loads CLD compile tables to memory, accepted user preferences, read commands, and check command syntax and report errors. So it was just a tool for testing of this command table format. And only a subset of the command line, the data types was implemented, and the prototype that then was used in a small student project of fiber channel switch and storage emulator for defining commands, and we add CLI present, get value, and dispatch routines to be able to use it this way. So also new CDU generates from command line descriptions stub code which use this primitive operations and fill some variables, and so the programmer doesn't need to write this code. Okay, what we have learned from this prototype, it was written in C using standard library functions, and CDU was tested on all available CLD files, and successfully was able to translated tables back to source form, but this code wasn't good, so the design principles was successfully show that it is good, but code doesn't look well, and it isn't possible to use it this way. So I decided to rewrite this code using object-oriented principles. So I'm in this stage, and I would like to remember some older project we have done in 2% for one customer. When I was in professional services, we wrote some scripting engines, scripting language, which from which I learned a lot. So I now it's my next step. So what DCL should be able should be able to accept commands from VMS user for Linux commands using VMS syntax, and also should be able to accept commands from Linux user in Linux syntax and translate them to proper form of required of DCL or required of Unix Unix utility. So talking about file names and file passes, there exist similarities in syntax of between VMS and Unix passes. So we can translate them easily to vice versa. The only what doesn't work is this, because sysdraw login is directory logical name, and it contains directory specification, so you are not able to continue with the directory on it. So it could be solved by the translation of this logical name and then accepting things. So there is no way how to write in DCL this specification. So there is something what Linux users doesn't understand, extended file specification. So I think that file system should accept specification in what as required with spaces and special characters, but there is another option planned to use a common file specification, which tries to use both as possible. So there are some conflicts. For example, absolute past start with slash. So it is in conflict with qualifiers. So that is why I would recommend to use this specification in quotes, and it would be possible. Also, if you would like to write qualifier after file specification in Unix format, then space will be required to finish the file specification and start another token. So this would be possible, and we plan a lot of other options. Another differences between DCL and Bash is use of apostrophe. So apostrophe means substitution in DCL. In Unix, it means it specifies string. And I think it could be possible to easily to extend this specification to be able to use not only substitution of variable, but any expression. So it could be possible to done it. So dollar is a special character, and the 27th character of alphabet in VMS. In Unix, it is a special character which has a special meaning. So there is also possible to use dollar as in VMS, because so if you write this on in shell, it means that variable login will be translated, but there is another possible option which uses parentheses. So that there is possible to use both syntaxes with some restrictions. Okay. Also, there should be possible to use backslashing in scripts and so on. A lot of other options can be used both, or just selected one. Bash is able to expand braces, so it means that ABC will be and the .ch will be replaced with six strings. So it should be possible to use this in common style too, and also there is a lot of other possibilities. So
We are running out of time.
yeah, 10 minutes. Okay, we will finish in very soon. So we will have a lot of implemented data types, which are a lot of them are done. So some of them are just in development. So we plan to have arrays and enumerations and sets to be able to support data types in CLD, and integers and other types. Records will use define field command. You can remember it from CDD. So it will be possible to define field and then use them in records. So struct is reserved for binary records to be able to work with any format used in files. So reference data types also will support trees and lists and vectors. So I'd like to have all these features to be able to use general data manipulation in this language. So the general scripting. Okay. There are each data type has defined some operators: constant, conversion routines, methods, and functions. So operators, it is a very rich set based on C language. So you can use it depending on data types. So current status of the project: CDU is done. CLS prototype was done, but needs to be redrawn. I'd like rewriter. I'd like to rewrite CDU using common data types too, because to be able to use the same tab helper as in Unix, to be applied to command and qualifiers too. So, and then next step, when the command runtime will be finished, I will write a parser and second prototype, which would be able to use all these features, and then when streams and permanent files and will be implemented an image run environment. It is easy to run command in using subprocess, but it is not what we would like to see on VMS. So we should have one stable process where to run images. So it needs to write it as I talk about stop. Okay. So it's current status. I hope next time will be second prototype at least finished. And it's I work on it with my students. Sometimes they wrote good code. Sometimes I have to rewrite it. so it isn't easy. But what is good is that I can discuss things with them, and it is helpful for me. Okay, questions.
So, what do you think about this as a product? Is it will it be an open source program, or is it open source project?
I need to solve one part of the project, CDU, because I wrote it with knowledge of original Bliss code. So it depends on VSI what to do it with it.
We should just talk about this, but we won't create problems. Artificial ones.
Okay.
Another issue is I use DCL a lot.
Yeah.
And I find some shortcomings, not because of the syntax basically, but what I want is something like a function definition that you have in Bash and other.
Yeah, function definition is planned. So the image type would be able to use not only program, but I plan to use a script as a whole, as a function, or define you would be able to define methods and functions inside script. So anything what is in data type definition could be done in script too. So there is we can we will be able to define own classes, and if you define conversion routines, then it could be integrated. And I also plan to use other modules. So we will be able to extend the language using shareable image or using script. So your question was?
It's like a function definition.
Yeah, function definition. It is expected. Also, usual looping commands and so on should be possible to use. So there are some differences in Bash and DCL. Bash runs commands. If command as a Boolean expression is a command which is run. So I think it would be possible to use both possibilities to expressions using variables and also running commands. So it is possible to make good decision what is it and how to work with it. And also it would be possible to redirect some functions, some output from functions to a file or to a pipe. So next year, I hope so. Any other questions? So time is up. Thank you very much.
Thank you.